Right, let's get started. Trend lines and support and resistance zones. I'm going to start off with some trend lines and show you how I draw them in conjunction with this high, lower, low indicator that's on the chart here. So I don't know. Let's just scroll back somewhat. Doesn't matter where really. So let's start around about here. So first of all, like I've said in the previous videos, we're looking for 2 points of contact, right? Confirmed points of contact with lower highs, higher highs, whatever. So for example, if we start here, so what we're looking at here, we've got a lower high confirmed here, we've got a lower high confirmed here. So there's the 2 points of contact, 1, 2. Yeah, we get the break. We're currently against or just touching the 50, so we wait for that break above, and we can wait for some kind of retracement back down to the 8MA. Yeah, for our entries long. So here's a confirmed trend line here. Yeah, so if we just follow price up, and we'll continue this a bit, you know, to see if we can come across different scenarios, different examples. So what we're looking at, which for the less experienced traders, is we're not looking at drawing through price with a trend line like here, higher high, lower higher low. We're looking for like a higher high here, both on the same side of price, and these higher lows here at the same side of price. So we're not looking at any kind of trend line like this. We're looking at trend lines like this. Yeah. So we can see we got a confirmed higher low, got a confirmed higher low, we got the break of structure here, yeah, which is not an entry, even though there's a retracement back to the 8 here, because it's against the trend, we're against the 50. In conjunction with these indicators, they keep us. If we didn't have any moving averages on here, price would just, you know, continue down, go up. We've got no guidance, so they work amazingly well together. Yeah, so just let's try not to drift away from what we're talking about here, but we're going to go into more detail about the strategy ongoing, but this is more about how we're drawing the trend lines, and then we'll go into how I draw the support and resistance zones later on in the video. So we can see here high low, there's a trend line. Yeah, we draw it, we get the breakdown, no entry, we're on guard, we get that retracement back to the 8, but it's against the 50, so we've got no trade there. Okay, so if we move on, we have a confirmed high here, and on the same side of price we get the lower high here. Let me just delete this one, get this out of our way. So we get a higher high confirmed, we get a lower high confirmed, we get the trend line drawn on here, we get the price break here, we get the retracement back to the 8. We're in the direction on the right side of the 50 moving average. Perfect entry here. Perfect entry. If you get right back down into the 8 here, 20 pips GBP JPY, or 25 pips, however you see fit. Yeah, and bump, you know, price goes up. Even if there's many ways. I always look to previous levels for scroll across here for setting targets. Yeah, another way is we get an entry point here. There's nothing that's wrong with holding that position for longer term until you get that exit and that close below the 50. Yeah, for them swing traders out there, I like to hold on to their positions. See that would have been what, 89 pips here. Many different ways, and again we'll discuss targets in ongoing videos. But you can see we have a high confirmed, lower high confirmed, trend line drawn, we've got the break. Moving on, so there's no draw, this is not one here. See how we just cut straight through price? Yeah, there's other entry techniques to get in and for continuation trading, but I'm just sticking to how we're using the indicators on the chart right now. Yeah, now we can use them together to our advantage. So again, we've got one here, we've got a higher low, we've got another higher low, yeah, we get the break, we get the pull back to the 8, we don't get a close beneath the 50, yeah, so there's no trade there. Don't really want to be looking for trend lines that are pretty much more like support and resistance, horizontal. But if we just delete that off, let's see this one. So continue on. Look, we have one here. We get a higher high still here. We're obviously in a strong uptrend. We get a lower high here. Drag that trend line across. We get the break. We get the pull back to the 8. Continuation up. So we continue, and we'll, again, we don't want. We're not looking for. If we had like a higher low, and a higher low here, we don't want to be lining them all three of them points up. Just two. So the first two we draw on, and then if another one prints, we just forget the first one and move that trend line to the second and third point. Only 2 points of contact we're looking for. So as price continues up and it starts consolidating and ranging, we get high, we draw a trend line here, whatever, but price doesn't continue. We don't cross price here like this now, so we get a higher low, no other higher low here, we get that breakdown, so we can maybe get a higher high here, a lower high here, yeah, we get that break, pull back to the 8, let's put an entry. Then we have a higher high here, higher high here. You know what I mean? It's not in any way tradable the way that trend line's drawn. Yeah? So there's no trend line drawn there. So we watch price continue up. We get a lower high confirmed, a higher low here. So we can draw that on. Something round about there. We get the break below, continue but pull back to the 8, yeah, then we get a close here, so there's a trade here, because we've had the break of structure, price continued, we get the break below there, and it's bearish, pull back to the 8, entry, targets possible to these previous lows here, yeah, it's a possible entry there, but you can see there's not much volume here coming out of Asia here. So there's another trend line drawn here. Lower high, brilliant trade here. Strong momentum pushing up, bullish candle, retracement back to the 8 area, in for a long. You can add to your position here. You've got in here. You've got another confirmation, higher high, lower high here. Trend line drawn, strong break up. Wait for the pull back to the 8 entry, so you've got second position in here. Your first target would have been smashed anyway, TP1. And then you've got a runner, you've got another position here, first target smashed for your TP1, and then you've got two runners. Yeah, this is not a trend line here because we're cutting straight through price. Nor here, but where there is a trend line here, 2 points of contact, remember that, higher low, yeah, this is an exit point here. Like I said, there's other points you want to keep on hold of your trades. If you're not setting targets to previous highs and lows, which I tend to do more often than not, but your runners, you've got a possible exit point right there on that bearish candle. You wait for that confirmed higher low, trend line break, or you can wait for price to close on over the 50. Many options with this strategy. So anyway, there's a confirmed trend line because we've got high low, price broke there. Yeah, no entry short there yet though. We get on the next bearish candle, yeah, we get that pull back to the 8, but we're not. If you're sticking to the trade plan, which I don't always, you know, there's an entry there. You could take an entry down to wait till the price touches the 50. Choices are yours, but what I'd say is there's no trade there because it's against the 50. We're against the trend. We wait for the close, but we get the confirmed trend line. We get the break. We wait for close over the 50 moving average. we get the pullback to the around the 8 MA here, perfect setup, and we look for positions to trade down. Exit possible on the close over the 8 there, possible look for previous lows or highs or whatever. A couple more, then we'll move across onto just drawing the support and resistance, which is dead easy. I've done a previous video for this just on its own, but it's simple. But always message me as well if you've got any confusion, until you sort of get used to drawing these trend lines on. Just yeah, here's a good example. So we've got a lower low, and we've got a higher low here. Yeah, we draw that on, always go a bit further, wait for that. Price doesn't break it, there's no trade there anyway, right? All that, and we get a new higher low print there. Well, that just eliminates the first one. Yeah, perfect example. Now we get 2 points of contact there, so there's a trend line can be drawn there. Yeah, and then we get another one up here, so that eliminates this one. So only 2 points of contact. So there's no tradable positions because price hasn't broke any of these points yet, but it does there. See there? So we've got 2 points of contact, higher low, then price breaks, and it breaks beneath the 50. We wait for the pullback and we get short. Yeah. There's one here, higher, high, lower high. Yeah. Price breaks, pullback, long. Just drag across. Yeah, I think I get it. Any questions, just leave them below or get in touch with me. But at practice, as you go, as you trade this strategy more and more, it'll just be self-explanatory, and it'll be like, there's one there, draw it on. It'll be easy. But quickly go over the levels. You don't need to be drawing them up here and up here. So I'm on the 1 hour chart now. It's where I draw my levels. So we know we've got a high here, a bit of a double top. So you can draw one on there. Don't have them too wide, your zones either. Don't forget, when we drop down to the 30, these will be even wider than they look on the 1 hour. So just round about that area there. Yeah. And then if we go back down here, oh, there's one around here. There's one here. There's quite a lot here. You see that? So we don't want to be putting them at every single point. One here, one here, one here. Just look for the obvious. So we've got one here and one here. So this is more like the obvious for me. So if we put one there, because we get a rejection there, rejection there, rejection there. Yeah. So we created minor levels of support right there as well, if you see. So you might decide, don't forget we're on the 1 hour chart. You might go, well, I'll put one there. As price breaks these and retests them and moves on, just delete them, add more. Yeah, doesn't matter if you want to put one right here, but just dead easy. So if we get price break above this resistance zone here, if we look left on the chart, we've got some wick highs. I like to mark these. I look on the 4 hour chart and mark them. You may have noticed on my charts. Yeah, you can do that on the 1 hour. It's entirely up to you. You can go, well, I'll just mark the wick highs, just dotted lines. Yeah, I mark on the 4 hour wick highs. I do it on the daily, on the weekly too, at the start of a trading week. So we might say, well, do you know what? Let's just put a little zone on there. So you've got another double top here, just above price here. You know, these kind of zones, because they're so close, you might go, well, if price is here and we get a break, or a trend line break, I'm not going to enter because there's too much going on here. But if we get a break and a close above this wick high, we've got nothing going on here. And look at this move here. There's a move to the upside, more like 100 pips or whatever. Yeah. But we get a break around here. We look at these zones as well. We might think, no, we're 5 pips away. We might get a rejection and a push back down. These are the thoughts that will go through your mind and help you make decisions. Well, I hope I've explained that well enough. Oh, I'm going to give you a quick example of targets and you know, if you're just thinking, should I hold on, do I let this run, or do I just set my trades and set targets? If I just flick to my other chart, I'll give you an example of this. Yes, this on Thursday. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, I know. Got a bit emotional through this trading day. But if we use say the first this trade I took here. If we use this trade as an example, right? Yes, it hit me 20 pips TP1. Yeah, my second position, my runner, come back down and hit break even. So overall in profit with this trade. But if I'd have set my previous, looking at previous highs, and this, because I'm looking for longs here, so it's previous highs, you know, this wouldn't have been a 20 pips target. This would have been 55, so there's an extra 35 pips there I could have gained. Do you know what I mean? If I'd have done that, and I didn't just do it once, I did it again that later on in the day. So here, so later in the day, it's marked as 27 pips there. It's 25. Yeah, 25 target. That could have been for me easy if I'd have set targets to these highs. 73 pips, 75 pips. Yeah. Instead of coming back down for 25, I've lost 30 here, 50 here. You with me? So it is worth, we're on the 30-minute time frame, and it is worth looking to set them targets at previous lows, previous highs. Just get in, let the trade hit these targets, because once price breaks these zones, it's like a magnet. They want to touch the other zones before any kind of reversals, or see what I mean? Yeah, you get price break of a zone, you can guarantee it'll at some point it's pushing up to touch the next zone, or pushing down to touch the next zone. So they are good points to set these recent highs, recent lows as targets. Yeah, and there's a perfect example of me not doing that on Thursday. Here and here. Not so much this one, because this was a previous high here. This one. Yeah, I was happy. I closed out here. 64 pips. Yeah, and my first position at the 25 pips. Yeah, to this previous high here. And we'll discuss, the other methods of staying in holding on into a position, which I could have held on for longer in this trade. Yeah, but I'll discuss that further in another video. Other ways you can stay involved in a trade for longer. Yeah, I hope that helps. Any comments, leave them below. Message me anytime. I'll always get back to you. Hit that subscribe button for me, and I'll see you soon.